Welcome to Durham Public Schools, and we are so excited you're coming. Perhaps you are both excited and a little nervous as you prepare to send your child to kindergarten. Whether this is your first or last experience with a child entering kindergarten, we hope you will find this information helpful. The following information is to better assist you if you are the parent of a child who has a disability or whom you suspect may have a disability. We would like to provide you with an overview of some steps you can take to connect with staff to assist in answering questions about students with disabilities. If you have concerns regarding your child's development in an area or multiple areas, such as communication, physical development, academic readiness, intellectual functioning, or social emotional skills, but your child is not yet enrolled for the start of kindergarten this year, you may contact our Office of Early Education and speak with Ms. Leslie Green, our Child Find Coordinator. You can reach her by dialing 919-560-3933 or through email at leslie_green@dpsnc.net. If you have the same concerns and your child is enrolled in kindergarten but has not been evaluated, please reach out to your child's school administrator or the Exceptional Children's Facilitator at your building. If you are unable to get in contact with either of these individuals, please contact the Office of Exceptional Children by dialing 919-560-3774. If your child has been evaluated by a private provider and you would like to request an individualized education program or IEP for your child, please contact the EC facilitator for your school. Providing copies of all evaluations or assessments that have been completed regarding your child's development will be important and can be considered by the team for eligibility purposes if they are not older than 1 year. However, any previous evaluations, no matter how old, would be helpful information to the school team. It is likely there will be additional components that will need to be completed by the school team in order to meet the eligibility determination requirements set forth by the Department of Public Instruction. If your child has a medical or mental health diagnosis or diagnoses, it does not automatically make them eligible for special education services or an IEP. It will be important for any and all information you have from your medical professionals be provided to staff at your elementary school, particularly the Exceptional Children's Facilitator and/or the school administrator. That information should trigger a special education referral meeting to discuss the information and the student's participation in their education in order to determine whether to move forward with the process of determining eligibility for special education. As the parent, you will be a member of the IEP team. If a team determines a need to conduct the necessary evaluations to determine eligibility, a team has 90 calendar days to complete the process. The 90-day timeline begins when the written request for an evaluation is provided to the EC facilitator and/or the school administrator. If you have access to these slides, please see the link to a video for a more in-depth review of the referral process. If your child has an IEP from another district in North Carolina, or you have an IEP from another state, it will be important to provide a copy of that information upon registration to your school. If the IEP is from a North Carolina public school, the Durham Public Schools should be able to electronically access your child's record following registration. If your child has an IEP from another state, the IEP team will need to meet to complete a comparable services plan, while also implementing an initial referral process to determine eligibility in North Carolina. Your child would receive comparable special education services while the evaluation is conducted. If your child's services are outlined as participating in a general education classroom with special education services delivered through a push-in or inclusion model to the regular classroom, or pull out for a period or periods of the day to a special education classroom, it is likely they are participating on the standard course of study for all students. In addition, they may receive some related services, for example, speech language, occupational, or physical therapies. Any student with an IEP, as previously described, can be supported and served at any of the elementary schools in Durham Public Schools. However, if your child has an IEP, either from within North Carolina or from out of state, where they have been supported in a self-contained or separate classroom for students with disabilities, your child's IEP will need to be reviewed by the Office of Exceptional Children to determine the best placement or classroom for your child. Again, if the IEP is from out of state, we are still required to provide comparable services, which will require that we assign your child to a separate classroom while an initial evaluation for eligibility in North Carolina is conducted. An assignment to a separate classroom will not likely be at your child's base or zoned school determined by your home address. Assignments are intended to be as close to your residence as possible. However, the assignment is impacted by the number of students already assigned to that particular classroom. Please contact the Office of Exceptional Children by dialing 919-560-3774 for questions or to arrange to get paperwork to our office for review. Please note that if your child is in need of a separate classroom assignment in order to implement their IEP, this assignment will take precedence over any lottery or magnet school seat assignment. Finally, for more specific information or questions you may have, you may contact the following leaders in the Office of Exceptional Children. Ms. Wendy Vadrusek, the EC Director for Elementary Schools, can be reached by dialing 919-560-2881 or through email at wendy_vavrusek@dpsnc.net. Ms. Krista Saunders, the EC Director for Special Programs and Behavior Support, and our leader who assigns students to separate classrooms, can be reached by dialing 919-560-3934 or through email at Krista_Saunders@dpsnc.net. Dr. Kristen Bell, the Executive Director for Exceptional Children, can be reached by dialing 919-560-3774 or through email at Kristen_Bell@dpsnc.net. We hope you are well, and we cannot wait to meet you and your child. Thank you.